giving respect and not demanding respect, but I'm earning respect. That's what I like about myself. In 10 years, I hope and I plan that I will be able to not only shoot my age as far as being on the golf course, but I will be able to see some of the young people that I mentor to, that I instruct, and I like to see more than those young people of color on the tour and working in the industry, this $100 billion industry, more so than I see now. For 10 years, I'd like to see us have more involvement as far as inclusiveness and diversity in the wonderful world of golf. I have achieved some goals, but some goals are still there. Planning and getting ready to do some of the things that I propose to do in the world of golf. And not only the world of golf, because that's different. I was in the theater and I was also in the aerospace business. But see, for 30 years, I've been doing golf. And that's what I know that I've been anointed and appointed to do. So that's where I see in the wonderful world of golf. I'd like to leave the legacy that freedom of the oppressor is never given. It is the oppressed that demands it. That's what I'd like to leave. I'd like to leave on society that we can celebrate, all of us can celebrate each other's accomplishments in life. I'd like to leave that we are one and that we have power and that there's power in information. And I'd like for us to be able to give that to those that are behind us and those in the future.
Ms. Madison. Our next award recipient is none other than Ms. Linda Henderson. When you hear the name, you are absolutely correct to note that it has something to do with it has something to do with pimping that barnyard pimp. Chicken. I want to say this, that she has resurrected a family state in this city, in this region, with Henderson Chicken. She's done a tremendous job. But what I found out about that Henderson was much more historic than just chicken. Went to see her one day, and we were right out of town. And she said, "Well, come out here to my farm." So, in my estimation, I'm going to go to a nice farm, see a big old house. You know, this is really how you live on that chicken, right? That reason. But I pull up on the farm and I see a tractor in the distance. I said, "Oh, she got somebody working the farm. I got to leave this right quick." I pull up, she's on the farm, it's goat boots, rag, dust everywhere. She had a net on her head. I mean, it was like the country. So then she went up. She get off the tractor and she go around to the back and show me some houses on this farm. I'm gonna tell you about this farm. You know those persimmons that hang on the tree?
Yeah.
The persimmon was on the ground. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the story. She picked that persimmon up and bit it. This woman, good looking woman, what are you doing eating off the ground? That's a persimmon. Her mouth went. I see that's what you get. That's what I saw her do. Let me tell you the history of her real quick. The Marvin Farm, what's the name of it? Morning Berry Farm is the first black-owned farm in the state of Texas. Go check the history. Yeah, I have to go do my history research on that. You ain't gonna tell me that after I saw you that persimmon. I didn't think everything was up there. Nonetheless, that's the oldest black-owned farm in the state of Texas. Guess where it is? Right here. I want to thank you for what you've done with the Henderson Chicken family and the brand. It's often a challenge that we as children and we with our siblings have to come along and continue to carry on the legacy because we don't have anything that we've laid, but it's something that we can put on that foundation. You're doing that, you resurrected that because we all go through tough times. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Smooth seas don't make the skillful sailors. You're a skillful sailor. You know what you're doing. I'd like for you to cue up Miss Linda Henderson.
The way I got my start was through my family. Also, I worked in the restaurant and I just love people. So that's how my start came along. Honestly, what sustains me is God. He's my refuge and He's my strength. And I live through Him every day. But what I like about myself is I'm happy. I'm God-fearing. I'm ambitious. I'm a go-getter. And I have heart. And there's one thing I like to say about having a heart. As a child, every day my grandfather's verse or his blessing was, only the pure in heart shall see God. And that is the way that I live my life. Through that verse, it just resonated with me all of my life. In 10 years, I see myself living in the Caribbean island with my family and my businesses being quite successful. I've achieved my goals, yes and no, to that. There are still things that I'm working on, and it's not complete yet. What I look to leave on society is a legacy for people of color, for women, for children. There will be a lived by example and also a blueprint for people to be successful in today's society or in our future, their future.
As she's taking her pictures, I can move to the next woman of wisdom water recipient. I met this next person, esteemed individual. I met her in her chambers. And when I met Judge Mulder, I'd already did my work on her, just by coincidence. I was in a court one day, and I watched people come in there and I was listening to the charges. And the fact that they'd already been found guilty. And so, I'm gonna say she took the Lord of God. You go, partner. She's gone, because I'll go there for you. But when you go, they're gonna be a flip-flop. But I saw her issue out kindness, compassion, mercy, but she was diligent and she was stealthy. When I say stealth, she cut right through the chase. She was straight with them. She told them why, the who, when, and whys, but she always had some compassion for everyone who stood in front of her. Somebody violated probation 4 times, and she was still trying to find a way to do some nonviolent things, a way to work with them. But then there were those that she had no more, it was no more mercy, and she was kind in how she doled it out, given what they could have gotten, what she did. Then I'm going to the chambers and I'm talking to them, and I'm thinking that, I'm gonna get all this formalities and how she's gonna be pompous. I would have felt better standing at the bar with her at a Yahoo club because she's that comfortable and that warm. But she understands the law. When you represent that courthouse, if you don't know nothing else, Judge Nancy Hogan has compassion and kindness. And she didn't just reach out to our community because it was election time. Sometimes now it's election time. Tell you what they're gonna do for you, they ask you what you need up. Yeah, but nonetheless, I want you to keep up Ms. Nancy, Judge Nancy Hogan.
How did I get my start? For me, I have to go back to high school and playing sports. That really instilled in me a belief that if I worked hard, I could accomplish my goals and really do something. So with that, I decided definitely to go into college and working hard at my grades, decided to take a giant leap of faith and go into law school. I graduated law school in 1995 and from St. Mary's, and then became a prosecutor at the Dallas DA's office. At the Dallas DA's office, I worked hard in the trial division and stayed there for 12 years, left as a felony chief, and had many jury trials under my belt. But after my son was born, wanting to dedicate more of my time to him, I decided to become a criminal defense attorney. And then that opened a whole new world for me. And I practiced as a criminal defense attorney for 8 years. And then when the current court bench that I'm on became an open bench, I decided to throw my hat in the ring and run for judge, and I won. Love and affection of my family, my friends, the good work at the criminal courthouse, all of those, that loving affection sustains me greatly, but most importantly is my faith. I like that I am an extrovert. I really enjoy meeting and talking to people, and that educates me on vastly different cultures and experiences that people, not only in Dallas, but across America have. I like that I work hard. I will outwork you on just about any endeavor. In addition to that, I like that I can find humor in just about every situation. My glass is always half full. In 10 years, I see myself as judge of the court I'll be on in January, Criminal District Court 6, a felony court here in Dallas, doing the same work that I've been doing the last 8 years that I've been on the misdemeanor court, working hard to make changes in our criminal justice system here in Dallas County. And hopefully, in 10 years, we will be cutting the ribbon on our new jail and courthouse. Have I achieved my goals in life? I have achieved so many goals in my life, becoming a prosecutor, trying major cases, and becoming a judge, and making so many changes in the criminal justice system. And there's a lot more changes that need to be made. So I've accomplished a lot, but no, I still have more professional goals to accomplish and more personal goals as well. I think that I'll always have those goals. A purpose-driven life is what sustains me. So even when, God willing, I'm 80 or 90 years old, I still plan on having things I want to do. What do I look to leave on society? My almost 28 years of practice in the criminal justice system have given me an incredible depth of understanding and institutional knowledge that I want to continue to educate the public about our criminal justice system so that more and more people can understand the disparities in it and what we need to do to change it.
She gets on the bench and she looks up, she grabs the gavel, she says, just to let y'all know I'm gonna be foul, I'm gonna start this out with giving myself 25 years. Next case. Here comes the judge. Thank you, Judge Moore. The reason for these awards is not just because we're honoring them, but this is to keep them connected to our community. And as my friend would say, this is a placeholder and a thumbprint. Somebody knows who said that. This is a placeholder and a thumbprint. So we can engage these relationships as we move down the line. At some point in time, you never know when you need them. Wow, you never know when you need them. Our next honoree is none other than the first ever Miss Elite News. She was on, my father took a picture and put it in there, and I was like, Daddy, who's that? That's that pride girl. And so it was, and so here she is. This is Pam Pryor. This is my church, Pryor Myers, excuse me. I'm messing up both last name, cursing, I'll get it right. Nonetheless, this is Pam Pryor Myers, member of New Birth Baptist Church. She is the fourth of four prior women to be recognized and honored as a woman of wisdom, starting with her mother. Her sister-in-law, Jacqueline Stephanie. Yes, absolutely. You can stand, because you do up here. Just stand, Sister Rob. And Sister Stephanie Bryant. That's our first lady at the church, under First Lady Bryant. Nonetheless, Pam's an educator, works diligently in our church, and has been involved in this community for as long as that church has been there. And that's for all my life. And for that, I'm grateful. I've watched her work with individuals in that church. I've watched her working in school and with educating kids and going into her pocket above and beyond the call of duty. And it's because of people like this that we have kids who are in various places that can't be reached. The teachers like Pam will reach, and individuals like Pam will reach. So, with no further ado, why don't you go ahead and cue up Mr. Pam.
The way I started was in the North Baptist Church when the pastor, my father, who was the late pastor, George Wayne Pryor, he founded the church in our home. As he founded the church, we needed a musician for our children. At that time, my mother steered my direction and she placed me in piano lessons at the age of 5. And from the age of 12 years old on, I was the first and only musician for our youth department of the church. And as you can see, the rest is history. What sustains me in all of my endeavors is the love that I have for children. I love children, which led to me teaching in school as well as being a musician in the church. But also what sustains me is just knowing that I have the love of God. And he gave me that passion, and that passion has led me and will continue to lead me as we journey on. Ooh, what I like about myself. I like the fact that I'm very transparent. I like that I'm outgoing. I like the fact that I love people. And I like the fact that I'm very flexible and very non-judgmental. Those are the things I like about myself. In 10 years, I see myself mentoring and building up future leaders in the church. My ministry is music. And I see myself building young musicians for the church, for the ongoing kingdom of God. I've achieved a lot of goals in my life. Most things that I set out to do, I actually do them. However, I don't believe that I'm ever going to be through with establishing goals for myself because I'm always looking to do something that is motivating for myself and stimulating as well. What I would love to lead and give society is the sense of unity. I like working with people. I like uniformity. I like for things to be done decent and in order. And I really like for people to work together and share and just give a spirit of love and happiness.
As they take those pictures, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our next woman of wisdom. That's none other than Constable Tracy Gardner. Tracy is a locally grown fruit, like Bunton Farm, you know, you can listen to that local. She actually has grown, went to school, high school, but I watched her grow hard. I watched her when she first started in the constable's office, worked her way up. And she worked her way up and she came up and got elected by being what Pam just said, transparent, engaged, relevant. My father often told us, I know one time my brother died, so big deal. And we came into the office to celebrate because she got 50% of what we sold. So Daddy got 50, we got 50. I got 25, he got 25. We celebrated. We just said we're gonna have people deliver paper to that. He was like, no, y'all done lost y'all. Y'all gonna keep delivering that paper. That allows you to be engaged and stay relevant to people. You don't get above people, you stay above people if you want to stay relevant. And that's what Constable Gully has done. She's right there with the Westboro community. She's from North Bend community. She's on the same soil that we come from. Yes, she understands the dynamic and the landscape, and she's always that smile and that support. She works in our community above and beyond what a constable is supposed to do. You know what a constable is? They deliver them papers, and they help lift that furniture out of the house. And she does not like to operate that way. there's any other way we can get around this, please, that's fine. So I present the song and recognize for others. Constable Tracy God.
How did I get my start? Actually, someone told me that I couldn't, so I did. I started actually in Dallas Police Academy. I got through halfway of the academy and failed the test. So they came to me and told me that I had to start all over again. A little discouraged. I was like, nah, that couldn't possibly happen. I knew that I was studying well. I knew the answers. I was prepared for this. I later found out that at that particular time, back when I was in the academy, which was in the 90s, it was hard for a Black female to even become a police officer, let alone finish the academy. So I challenged it, and I started over. This time I started in the academy. I went through the academy and I passed the academy. At that time, I decided to go to the Dallas Constable's office because they didn't work nights or weekends, and I had a 2-year-old at the particular time. So I decided to go on to the Dallas Constable's office. I started the referral journey, and I worked my way as a reserve officer for 2 years, meaning I worked without getting paid. So I worked at the bank at the same time that I was going through the academy until I was hired on as the actual deputy. Worked my way up through the rank, started as a reserve officer, then I was hired on as a deputy. So moved up in the rank as a sergeant in the ward division, promoted to lieutenant. Worked my way up to the chief department, and then elected official, the constable. Wow, what sustains me? My faith, what keeps me going. Every day is a challenge. I stay prayed up, and I know that so many people depend on me. Whether it's, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the scope of my job, but I actually do, because sometimes I'll call someone's plumbing is going out or their lights are out. Of course, that's not the constable's job, but I've been blessed to meet and rub elbows with so many different people. So the people that I know, I can reach out to someone to help someone else. So there's a lot of times when I say, why am I doing this? Am I called for this position? And I think to myself, why not me? My mother used to always tell me, I tell her, people are going to hate me. People are not going to like me because I'm put in this position. They're going to call me everything, but his name is on my badge. I'm going to be challenged with this. And I often say that if I didn't have anything of value to offer God or to offer the people, they wouldn't have any reason to attack me. So why not me? So I'm just motivated to just keep going. It's just within me. That's it. Wow, what do I like about myself? I'm not a quitter. When you tell me once again that I can't do it, I'm going to prove you wrong. I can show you better than I can tell you. And I'm self-motivated. I just have this drive. I try to treat people the way that I want to be treated. And that's how I deal with my daily work. That's how I tell my deputies, you never know who's on the other side of the door. So I always put myself on the other side, and I treat people actually the way that I want to be treated. That's how I feel about my day. Where do I see myself in 10 years? It's almost time for retirement for me, but I'm not looking forward to that. So I still see myself as the constable for Dallas County Precinct 1. I have so many things that I want to do here, and there's so much work to be done. So I still need to see myself as being the constable better today than I was yesterday. Have I achieved my goals in life? That's a good one. I don't think this title or this position that I carry, there's always something that I want to accomplish. There's always something that I want to do. better. I've received so many different awards, but I don't live off of it. It's just like, there's always something to do, whether it's reaching out to the younger generation, whether it's helping the senior citizens. There's a lot of things to do in Dallas. I mean, we still have a lot of work to do as elected officials, so my job is not done. So have I achieved my goals? I've achieved a lot of things. I've become an elected official, first African-American female council of leaders in Dallas, Texas. So that's an accomplishment. That's a good thing. What do I do to leave my society? That I am one of the best councilors that Dallas County has.
All right.
That's what I want to leave, knowing that she's a good person. We can always call on her and rely on her. A lot of times when you're elected, some have the tendency of just, okay, well, I've gotten here, so let me just fall back. No, the people expect me to be here, and that's what I do. And some of my peers say, well, you don't have to show up for work every day. Yes, I do. They expect to see me. So, it makes a difference because I love what I do. So, that's just me.
All right.
Tracy Gully, note to self, make sure jail edits time-wise, so that we don't have a competition between Judge Adriel Martin and Constable Gully for the ones who have the longest breath. They can talk the longest. Our next recipient is really ironic. I literally watched her grow up, and then she in turn, by proxy, raised my kids. But not only did she do it, her mother did. And the introduction came rather strangely because I was at home one day and the kids were getting dropped off, and so they were talking about Pawpaw. Well, I know my dad getting dropped off, and I was in the door, so who is Pawpaw? So I decided I'm gonna make my business the next one, whoever this Pawpaw is gonna be. I'm gonna be up with my children, and I'm gonna walk my side to see this Pawpaw. I'm thinking that, let me be real. I'm thinking that Pawpaw was her sugar daddy, and he was taking my kids to school. So I got up and went to the door. Pawpaw driving van with his pants pulled way up here. It was none other than Rev. Cecil Proctor. My daddy, Jeffrey, my father, and his father's husband. And I had to laugh at myself. Because he got on when they got on the bus, he had an instructor. But I'm saying that to say this. I watched her. They raised my kids at that daycare, and they did a tremendous job with Darius and Nene and Ladera and Camille. They educated my kids and Byron. Yeah, Byron as well. And they do a tremendous job. Those kids are well equipped when they leave there. And I want to thank you for that first and foremost. But then I watched you as you climbed the ranks and the ladder. I saw you on billboards, and I knew you were. Your cell phone number's always been right here, and you quick answer when we call. But I was like, oh, that ain't her personality. What is Rachel on this for? She can be in a room, you won't even know she in here. You surprised me. But you've done a diligent work, not only in daycare and in education, but in engagement with the city of DeSoto and what you have done to move forward. And I'm immensely grateful that I've been a part of that and I've been able to see that. And so I present to you Mayor Rachel Proctor.
I got my start in my family. So I come from a ministry background as well as a business background. My family has a childcare center that's been in business for nearly 30 years. I can remember being 13 years old, watching my dad and learning how to make payroll. And so that's what really sparked my love for business as well as my love for serving the community. My faith sustains me. So 100%, it's the lens that I look at the world through. It informs all of my decisions, and it also informs how I treat people in that aspect. One thing that I really like about myself is my determination. I can remember being in my office and my dad was in the other room talking to somebody, and I overheard him say that whatever Rachel wants to do, she's gonna make sure she goes after it. And so I never told him that I heard that, but it has been one of the things that has always ignited me to keep going even during hard times. In 10 years, I see myself still serving in some way, of course, probably being in business, doing something to that degree, serving the community. As far as whether or not I believe I've achieved all my goals in life, I believe I have this philosophy that you never really arrive. You're always going to be striving, growing, and learning new things. And so as far as my goals are concerned, I think depending on whatever season of life I find myself in, there'll always be things that I'm going after and new goals that I'll be setting and trying to achieve. One thing that I hope to leave on society is simply a positive impact. I want to encourage people to know that greatness is their birthright and to walk with their head up high and to encourage people around them to do the same.
I hope that you can appreciate these videos and how they're going and what it tells you about these individuals as we honor them. And I say some things in the gap, but I look for you to read the whole story in their bios, what they've accomplished and what they've became. Certainly I do. The next person I'd like to recognize and we're going to honor as a woman of wisdom. She sits alone. She stands alone. She don't even sit with the group that she honored with. She goes sit with the other group. She stays amongst that people. She don't get above. None other than Dr. Shirley Higgs. I've heard of Dr. Shirley Higgs, seen her a few times. But the main engine behind your name is Pat Wade. She does her due diligence in terms of nominating people to be a woman of wisdom, as well as Dr. Michelle Bobadilla. Dr. Higgs, I thank you so much for your engagement with Dallas College and what you've done in our community, education, and work readiness, and all of those things that you're involved in, and your humbleness. I really didn't recognize that was you when you came to my office, but you were so humble. I'm sorry, y'all, I'd have been a little haughty. With all that degrees and all that education going on, I had to let you know I can spell a bigger word than you can know. None other than Dr. Shirley Higgs. Show this.
I received my start at a very early age. In 1982, I was approached by my high school counselor that I qualified to graduate early from high school. I was originally class of 1983, and of course, I was like, wow, a whole year, I'm gonna graduate early. It was like December. So I graduated in 1982 from Franklin Delano Roosevelt High School, Government. And at that point, I was not really prepared for college, so therefore my parents told me when he would go to the community college. So at that time, I kind of strolled into Cedar Valley. I started my 2-year degree. I received a part-time job on campus while working on campus. I was offered a full-time job, and from that point, it led me into lifelong learning in community college and higher ed 38 years later. What sustains me is faith. What I've learned throughout life is if you have faith, you can do anything, despite those things that come in between, et cetera, et cetera. Just keep the faith and the rest will come. What I like about myself is everything, of course. The only thing that I would share with anyone is that I love listening, I love helping, and I love just providing information and not trying to fix everything, but give people enough perspective other than what they are pretty much processing internally themselves, and I leave it there and hope that growth takes place. Where I see myself in 10 years, of course, is just maintaining what I have going on, as well as what I don't know what I may have going on, and just loving life and living life. Of course, I'm sure grandchildren will change a lot of things that I have no idea, but just making sure that I'm pouring in and leaving things for those that are coming behind me. I have achieved the majority of my goals in life because I am a lifelong learner. I'm sure that I have goals that I have not established, that I will reestablish, but because of the lifelong learning. Yes, I have achieved the majority of my goals, particularly maintaining and helping others maintain their goals. So I'm sure because I'm goal-oriented, I will always develop new goals and maintain and develop and develop. When I look to lead on societies, leave things in a better condition than when I walked into them. For example, the generation coming behind me should not have to deal with the things that I'm dealing with. So what I want to do is make my mark so that they can make the mark and push it on further so that they don't have to deal with some of the things that I'm currently dealing with. We'll just take that, embrace it, and build a bond. And hopefully each generation after will continue that pattern as well.
Katie Ellis. Rhonda, Moses, I don't know that.
Jackson.
I'm sorry, you got Moses, your main name is
Jackson.
Jackson?
No.
Ron Jackson. Congratulations on supporting Dr. Hughes. I didn't recognize you with all my classmates. God bless him, Ginger Bell, Roosevelt. Thank you all for being supportive. I didn't know you came out, and are you supposed to come out 83? I was smart too. Yeah, I was smart one in the fundamentals of education. That's the remedial class. Our next honoree, I watched her work, and she didn't do a lot of talking. I kind of thought she was mean when I first met her, and quite honestly. And then I was in her office, and I looked up on the wall, and there was a note that she had copied, and it was on her wall. And she might not recall me asking her to give me a copy of that, because it was so detailed in how they were appreciative of how you apply for a grant and services that you provide in the South Dallas area. When you ride down Martin Luther King and you look and you see the prosperity and you see the growth and the change. I sat and talked to a gentleman one time, and he told me that what he was doing was a placeholder and a thumbprint. So when you see little things like Black Lives Matter painted on the streets, and you see all those beautiful buildings going up in South Dallas, but they're purchasing the property, not for someone to come in and rent it out to you, but to go and drive programs, get grants and things of that nature in our community. That's none other than the Family Prosperity. Kurt Myers Hill started that, but he didn't start it alone. He is very quick to tell you that this young lady, Cameron Stephanie, has done a diligent work over there. And then I watched them when you see COVID come hit and how they help with housing and placement and catching up with rent, mental services, HIV, all of those things that in their month, they jump right on it, and the city and the county go right to them. But she's a very integral part, and she's involved with people. And then I didn't recognize that, we had crossed paths by virtue of individuals we know earlier in the year. But Tamara, I watched your work. I didn't like you at first, because I thought you were mean, but that was just your business manner. That was how you operate. Yeah. And you were doing a diligent work over there. And when this came up, your name flew out of the wheel. So with that being said, having known your work, why don't we take a chance to listen to how you got
I got my start over 20 years ago working in medically underserved areas. I knew that my passion was working for people and serving people. Years later, as I met my mentor, friend, and family, I was given then an opportunity to then expound on all of my endeavors. And through those skills that I've learned over the years, I've been able to do more work for the community over the years. What sustains me is my love of family, my love of community, and what I get from that is my ability to sustain myself to continue to serve the community. What I like about myself is my genuine heart, my strength, and my resiliency. My impeccable work ethic is something else that I really like about myself. I I like that my family, my children take all those things that I like about myself and they use it to inspire themselves. In 10 years, I see myself continuing to fight for equality, for equitable access to services that are needed in our community. I find myself in 10 years continuing to fight for conflict resolution amongst our people and our communities. I have achieved my goals in life, some of my goals. My goals are ongoing, and it's my hope that I will continue to create new goals and do the work to achieve those goals in the future. What I look to leave on society is society knowing that there is power in love and that there is power in your voice. And I hope to leave on society their ability to use that power to continue to love one another and expound on the love and the power that they have within their voice.
That's how quick you got me out your office. I do on the road. Our next award recipient, and let me say this for this whole class, 2022. This is the first class that didn't worry us. We had to run them down. No, we literally had to run some up and down. I would thank you. People honor me. Look here, I'll come stay with you. I'll come stay. I'm gonna see you every day so you can get a new quality about what I got to offer, what I've done. And I can't tell you, I can't write enough, so I try to tell it to you. But these individuals, we had to run them down. And you know, I'm not always accused of being the most friendly or saying the right thing. So I can say something to agitate you. I know where to find you, and I see it in public. I see you somewhere, I didn't know. Yeah, with it. On my tongue. Didn't have to always go in. But this last individual, I got a little intimidated. I really did. Because email kept popping up in my email queue. And I kept sending it to Sherry, the boss, and the email never got responded to. So I said, Sherry, do you see these emails coming from uta.edu? She said, Dr. Bobadilla? I said, absolutely. I said, I'm really afraid to read this email now because there's some chastisement going on. Now, while we're on this final recipient of this class of 2022, I got some very clear instruction on why Dr. Osama Rogers was being nominated. She sent over an email with a file that was so big she had to clip it and put it in a zip file because it had everything about Dr. Rogers, and we needed to know to get in touch with her to get to her. So now I'm going to do this, but I'm kind of scared to respond because Dr. Bobadilla uses words right strong, and they intimidate if you can't see her, you just hear her. Nonetheless, we got the task accomplished. We trying to get Dr. Rogers. Had to get her a piece of applause. How about that, Pierre? Pierre had to catch over here to do a picture. We had to do a video over here. We had to script it back over here. We had to call her sister to get back down. But did we get her? And once she got engaged, she came on with it. Dr. Rogers, have you read the bio on Dr. Summer Rogers? Very impressive. That's coming from the mayor, of course, the mayor of DeSoto. Nonetheless, I would like for the DeSoto school board members, please stand. Trustee, just stand. I had to do that because you have become as intimidating as your friend of yours. You're a little bit closer, in closer proximity. Dr. Rogers, I'm very impressed. A lot of times when people are chosen, it's because I have personal knowledge of things that they've done, and or somebody comes along and says, hey, this person really needs to be recognized. So this award program is not about our friends. These are our friends and people in our community and in our region that are doing things. Let me go a little bit further. At one point in time, the DeSoto school system was taking a hit. They took a hit. And I felt that they were unfairly treated and that that the educational level had dropped off. And given the tax base in DeSoto, that's not fair. They put some of the highest taxes in the southern state. Having said that, you have come back and done a tremendous job at a short period of bringing the solar back to the I'm sorry, maybe you got moving the halls or something, intimidating children. You know, I can see you doing that. You know, I think you'll run up. You'll pull up on it. So don't come here and cut that, and then you'll tell somebody that negative narrative is not going out about the soda. And that is what I'm so proud of. And I'm gonna go one little further. And if you get offended by it, I really don't care. Because I do care. And my thing is, I watched that situation so much. How that was the African American independent school district, and how we had lawsuits trying from one side to the other. And nobody could get along. They couldn't come up with a phone call and get behind and push education. That's what I thought I was going to happen with the soda. Oh, the resurrection is in place. Dr. Resurrection Rob, that's your new nickname. You're up.
You know, I got my start because I was a little girl who loved to play school, and I became a teacher and progressed through the ranks, becoming a school administrator. I was a school administrator at the elementary, middle, and high school level. I later became executive director, assistant superintendent, and then I was the deputy chief of strategic initiatives in Dallas ISD before becoming the superintendent in DeSoto. I think the thing that sustains me the most is hope. As an educator, you have the opportunity to touch the future, and it's amazing each day to go to work and know that the work that you do impacts not only today, but it impacts the future. And so that sustains me, knowing that the work that I do matters and makes a difference. I like the fact that I work in a space where my profession and my passion intersect. I like the fact that I believe that I walk in my purpose and I have an opportunity to make a difference and to give back and to serve others. And that's what I like the most, that I have an opportunity to give and to serve, and I'm blessed to be a blessing. In 10 years, I'd like to be approaching retirement. At that point, I hope to be a best-selling author, someone who is a lecturer, talking about, educational opportunities, the importance of equity and access, and being able to say that the work that I did matters, and to just give back and invest in others and help future educators grow and just understand the importance of our profession. A lot of people are not choosing to go into education, and I think that we have a responsibility to build high-quality educators. And so in 10 years, I would hope that I'm able to be an example and to give back to my profession and to help others understand the importance and the value of education and educators. I've achieved a lot of the things that are currently on my vision board, and so I'm looking forward to the new year to write new things. One thing that I hope to do that I have not accomplished is publish a book, and then I'd like to become a professor and spend time continuing to be a motivational speaker and set up things to invest in women's leadership. So working on new visions for my vision board, but I've accomplished a lot of the things that I've set out to do, and I feel really blessed to have been able to do it. I hope to leave a legacy of service. I like to say that the work that I did made a difference, both professionally and personally. I have two amazing children, Aisha and Armand, and I hope that they are great people, that they continue to serve God, society, themselves, and others. And then I like to make that difference professionally, to know that the work that I did mattered, that I made a difference in the lives of the children and the communities that I served as an educator.
Congratulations. The 2022 class, women of youth class of 2022, that's how it's going. I want to congratulate each and every one of you. But while we're giving you all these awards, accolades, and kudos, this is a challenge for you to continue to move that work forward and not to rest on your laurels, but to continue to be a hope that someone else may be able to see your life, and they also want to in the same way that you are. At this particular time, before I take my seat, I'm not gonna give a presentation. I'm not gonna play that role, because they show I gotta go back there and get the rest of it. No, but I wanna take this opportunity to be kind to my speaker and show some semblance of appreciation for her grabbing the gavel at me, grabbing the mic, not the gavel. The mic, and coming forward, and she should young lady. There you go. So thank you very much. Sure, all of us have this, but I'm sorry, Sherry, you can be mad all the way home and all the way to the office on this. Like you should do this. Ned over here at AIS, stand up, Ned Armstrong, and then the real deal. That's who's responsible for this thing and all production, as well as the production from Owens Media Group, OMP. J.O., why don't you wave your hand back there? I want to thank Pierre the Bay, Pierre the photographer. Pierre, thank you so much, man, for doing this over the years and giving us a whole new way to spend on it. Thank you. And I would love for you all to reach out to Pierre and do some work. You know, Judge, you got good portraits in that portrait. When they take you check out and you do it like that, he takes it. He's good. As soon as they go up in the hallway and the Southern ISD, you can take those pictures. Well, you're not missed over there, man. Yeah, you're in the hallway down here. So I just want to advocate for Pierre LeVay. Sure, I'm going to get this out of the way. Anita Turner, Nita Weeder, as we call her, thank you very much. Mr. Brader, thank you very much. These are the people who provided food and laid everything out for you. Mahogany, Hoggy, Patsy Brown, Smith, thank you very much. I got to do this with them, man. You all know this was an undertaking. Would you let me finish? She didn't want me to do it. Yeah, she would be like, "Can you let her?" That's my wife. We can joke like that. Brittany, my daughter. Byron Square, my employee. That's the one right there. We also have Robert Ellis. You know, we wouldn't be comfortable. You couldn't see us if you didn't see Casey where my sister Mary Sell. Thank you. We also want to thank Charlotte Christian. Don't start trying this mic, and y'all just want me to talk. Oh, and Robert, you got some other names over there in the mic? My brother Robert Blair, Roger Ellis in there. I gotta do this. Certainly my granddaughter Muffin, who didn't want to get me a glass of tea, but thank you, Muffin, and my son Byron. So I hope that I've covered everyone, and I've been appreciative to everyone. I stand here today not because I recognize that a lot of you over the door and you see me, not because I'm Darryl Blair, but I'm William Blair's son. And so with that, I'm grateful. But I didn't pour a foundation, he did. So I'm putting another grateful foundation. And just thank you for the opportunity. Charlotte, I've already recognized you. They got to come here like that. Thank you, baby. So now, before I go through, let me get on the best of prize. Each and every one of you want to read. When you go, can you take your pictures with you? Those pictures belong to you. Those are yours. What else is missing is that we got the Women of Wisdom ring. They are on the back on Evans and Radio Center. They have them in next week, so we'll give you your class ring. And these are your portraits. These are the spoils for you. So we all have that.
And as you said, I told you that Darryl, they told me to come up here and sing also, but I have to come out and because I'm not going to sing, but guess what? Patti LaBelle is going to sing. And so.
Now, let's go and give the whole show. I got to tell you that, you know, I'm moving, man. I think he's 7 feet 5 feet. So I'm going to go with it. Here we are. And so then that's Patti LaBelle. And that's on November 26th. December 26th. I'm sorry, let me get it right.
December 17th.
December 17th. At the Fairmont Hotel. That's Patti LaBelle. Is this enough?
Me?
No, Shirley, you know these people look like you, baby. That's right there.
Yolanda Adams.
Andrea Johnson. Kelly Price. And Yolanda Adams.
And Cheryl Smith.
December 18th, 2022. Go on eNewsDallas.com. You'll see that poster there as well as the next week's publication. You'll see that. promoting this, and it's all courtesy of National Prosperity. The gentleman right there.
Let's show that support. And as we go,
Come and enjoy candy and the food. God bless you guys.
and me too, and as we close, I know all of you have your seasoning that you use, but there's nothing like supporting our own. And I'd like to say thank you to the Henderson family. And you can pick up, this is, I know y'all think y'all have our special recipes and everything, but some people don't get invited to the cookout. And so again, everybody gets invited if you have Linda's seasoning. So let's support one another. And as this year comes to a close, you know, we have to make every day count again. So I ask everybody to go with love and grace. And thank you.
Before, real quick, y'all put your cell phones out real quick. Everybody put your cell phones into the selfie mode real quick. I need y'all to do this real quick. Y'all put the song in. Put the song in selfie mode. I'm sorry, the phone in selfie mode. So I'm getting ready to sing this song and y'all get ready to exit. But before y'all leave, I need y'all to get as many selfies with as many people in the room. While the song is playing, I'm gonna need y'all to selfie. Honorees, please stay behind for pictures. Honorees, please stay behind for pictures. Do not, can y'all get my phone ready? They're getting my phone ready, so y'all put your phone in. I'm looking at y'all, I'll see y'all cell phone. I need to see the best one. You gotta do the selfie. Here we go. Rewind, please, I'm not forgetting. There you go. Okay, come on, selfie, everybody. You gotta get me too. Every time I try to came across, I can't turn it on. They come back and try. There are times when I'm just crazy, but now they're crazy. Even if it comes my way, I'm a appreciation. I can't find no answer. I'm blessed for greatness. No one could feel inside. I'm gonna come away. I can do all things. No one can control me down. No one can control me back. I'm gonna walk through the eye and say I'm greater than you. Y'all get yourselves. Come on, y'all. No different anything I can tell. All of the people here know me. No confusion, even from my house. I didn't tell you that I'm hanging on. It's how I am sorry. There are times when I just crazy. But now that I'm here, I'm feeling you. And now I'm gonna say, even if it comes my way, I'm a creation. I can't find no reason. I'm blessed for greatness. No one to feel inside. I'm gonna come away. I can do all things. No one can hold me down. No one can hold me back. I'm gonna walk through Here got one right here. That ball back up. You see it, nigga?
And now to do my question.
Yeah, I did.
Let's teacher. Let's stay on. I think we say Nita, he was calling me. He's like, wait, Nita always hit me. I said, she out there, she out there. Gotta make time. Thank you for everything. So, you know, that's so. Thank you for everything. Thank you, I appreciate that so much. That's my favorite. Thank you.
Come out, I'll be ready. I do this at work. Nita, they on the table.